هدايا صاحي كي تستريح وغصن الدعاء.
Bismillah, wassalatu wassalam, ala man la nabiyya ba'da. All praises is indeed due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the nourisher, the sustainer, the capacitated master of creation. Lovely viewers, I welcome you once again to my YouTube channel with the Islamic greetings. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is our third episode of the series of lectures delivered by SHAIKH FARIK Zakir NAIK, the son of Dr. Zakir NAIK, the renowned Islamic scholar. We are just reacting to his video, which is entitled Misconceptions about Islam. As I said earlier, this is the third episode. So today, what are we going to talk about? Let's see. Sheikh is going to talk about terrorism. They say Islam is a terrorist religion. So we are going to make sure that Sheikh is going to explain to us the reason why Islam is not a terrorist religion and is a pure and straight and peaceful religion, but people misunderstood it. Without wasting much time, we are going to start. But before we start, please, if you are new here, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit on the notification bell. Subscribe to the YouTube channel and hit on the notification bell so that anytime I drop a new content, you will not be left out. Much love. Let's begin.
The third misconception is that Muslims are terrorists. What is the meaning of the word terrorist? Terrorist by definition means a person who causes terror. Whenever a robber sees a policeman, he is terrified. So for the robber, the policeman is a terrorist. Whenever any criminal sees a policeman, he is terrified. So for the criminal, the policeman is a terrorist. Whenever any robber sees a Muslim, he should be terrified. Whenever any rapist sees a Muslim, he should be terrified. Whenever any anti-social element sees a Muslim, he should be terrified. Like the police, every Muslim should be a terrorist to the anti-social elements. I am aware that this word terrorist is more commonly used to terrorize an innocent human being. In this context, no Muslim should ever terrorize any innocent human being. And many a time, two different labels are given to the same person for the same activity. 60 years back, when the Indians were ruled by the British government, and there were people who were fighting for the freedom of the country. And these people, by the British government, they were called as terrorists. Whereas by the common Indians, they were called as freedom fighters, as patriots. Same people, same activity, two different labels. If we agree with the view of the British government that the Britishers had tried to rule over India, then you would call these people as terrorists. Whereas, if you agree with the view of the common Indians that the Britishers had come to the trade, they had no right to rule over us, then you would call these people as freedom fighters, as patriots. Same people, same activity, but two different labels. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the glorious Quran, in Surah Hujurat, chapter number 49, verse number 6, يا أيها الذين آمنوا إن جاءكم فاسق بنبأ فتبينوا أن تصيبوا قوما بجهالة فتصبحوا على ما فعلتم نادمين. O you who believe, when a message comes to thee, check it up before you pass it on to the third person. We have the example of the American Revolution that took place in 1775. George Washington, by the British government, he was called as terrorist number one. And later on he becomes the president of USA. Imagine terrorist number one becoming the president of USA. And he happens to be the godfather of all the presidents, including George Bush.
This is very funny. This is very funny. Let's continue.
We have the example of Nelson Mandela.
This one of the outstanding freedom fighters, or should I say an activist. He has really helped South Africa, Nelson Mandela.
When South Africa was ruled by the white apartheid government, Nelson Mandela was imprisoned in Robben Islands for more than 25 years. And by the white apartheid government, he was called as terrorist number one. Later on, when South Africa gets its freedom and the white apartheid government is thrown out, Nelson Mandela gets freedom. And he becomes the president of South Africa and gets the Nobel Prize for Peace. Imagine terrorist number one getting the Nobel Prize for Peace. So here we realize the media, whatever label it gives to a person, that label gets stuck to him.
Sure.
The media is very powerful.
It's very powerful. That is why always I keep on saying that we must use the same media to change the narrative of Islam, to change the perception of people regarding Islam. This media is very strong. It's a very strong weapon. Look, I said something in my previous video that if you have these social media platforms on your phone and you have followers, you have likes and other things, you are very you have influence on the media, yet you don't represent Islam there. I don't know what kind of thing you are leaving behind. Because look at it from this way. If you are posting something which is not according to Islam, you yourself, especially the females, maybe your dressing on social media does not represent Islam. Today, if you leave all those things, if you die sadly and all those things are there, now don't forget, if you die, your social media will not die. Your social media, people will continue to like it, people will continue to follow it. That's it. And you'll be in your grave, and all those likes and what comments and views are coming to you in your grave. So what are you using your social media for? Do you post each a verse every day you wake up from your bed, or you have to take a funny picture or a naked picture of yourself and throw it on social media? At least a day, try and use a verse of the Quran on your status, so that at least if you have 100 people on your WhatsApp, like 50% of them will watch it and at least 20% will benefit out of it. But you are rather using your social media for something else. Are you completely like okay with all those things? Please, let's use our social media for da'wah. Most people feel nervous to make da'wah in the cause of Islam. It is not only that you have to come and mount a very big platform and start to lecture about Islam before people think you are making da'wah. You make da'wah from your house, you make da'wah around your neighborhood, you make da'wah around your community, your society, you make da'wah everywhere. That is your character. Use your character as a very strong word, as a strong tool to convey Islam. That is the first advice. Let's showcase Islam on the media. Let's try as much as possible. We have scholars of Islam who do lectures day in, day out. Create a platform, a WhatsApp group, create a Facebook account or page attached to it. Just be posting. If you can be posting even a link, just copy a link of a video, post it on your Facebook page. People go and watch it. That's how you can share Islam. Not always posting things that are haram, tagging non-Muslims into your page. That is the problem. Helping non-Muslims to get more followers, yet they don't benefit us godly in the to come closer to God. They don't benefit us to come closer to God. That's what we mean. Please, let's use our social media platform to promote the beauty of Islam. Let's continue.
It can turn black into white, white into black, hero into villain, villain into hero.
Yes, that's the power of the media. The media can just change human perception, human thinking at any time, at any moment, and they will believe.
This is the power of the media. We Muslims, we are very backward. We need to use the same media. We have to make it halal to strive to convey the message of Islam. And I do know that 99% things what come on the television, they are haram. But we need to use the same media. We have to make it halal to strive to convey the message of Islam. See, today is the age of science and technology. The youngsters, they are going on the wrong track. We need to use the same media to bring the youngsters on the right track. And as long as we are within the purview of the Islamic Sharia, we need to use the same media. We have to make it halal to convey the message of Islam to the non-Muslims, to those who are unaware of it. The fourth misconception is that Islam was spread by the sword.
So, inshallah, this is the end of the third episode. We have discussed about terrorism, inshallah, to tell the non-Muslim that Islam is not a terrorist religion, but just that people use it to blackmail Islam. They thought Islam is the kind of religion that spare terror, fear. We are just some kind of people who are impatient or all that thing. 35 people in society, that's it. So that's not Islam. As we said, Islam is a peaceful religion. Unless you read if you want to learn Islam, please come to what? Refer to my guide. My guide is the Quran. Read my book. Don't look at my attitude. My attitude might be something different, but my book will really make you understand what my religion means. So read my book, but not the bad character of me, not the bad side of me. Don't use the bad side of me to represent Islam, but read my guide, and my guide is the Quran. Much love. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.